Welcome, traders. Welcome to Money Mitch. Yes, we had a tough day in the market. I even got stopped out myself. I'll tell you exactly about that trade coming up. But you guys stick around, hit that thumbs up, and let's get Money Mitch started.
It's time for Money Making Mitch. When investors need a story, we're going to the moon. Welcome to Money Mitch, where story is everything. I'm here to find you the next opportunity. It's all about the green hands. Now we all know the bull market is here to stay. Money Mitch.
What's going on, traders? Yes, let's get into the market. Let's see what happened exactly. And let's also find some stocks to watch because, in a market like this, we need to do a little research. We're going to do that research right here live. You guys hit the thumbs up and let's go ahead and get started. Let me share my screen here. So first thing we always do is take a look at the overall market. Let's go ahead and do that here. To do that, we look at the SPY and let's take a look. We had this line drawn right here, 444.94. Really much, 445. That's the level we've been watching to see when it was going to crack down. I think we drew this line. Let's see. We drew this line actually. We updated it on the 13th because we updated it yesterday. But when we drew it all the way back on August 2nd. That's when we set this one. And now we're looking to see what happens here. And what do we get from this moment? Are we going to continue to hold down below that and head towards, let's say, towards this 439.20s or 438s? Or are we going to see a push back up through 448 and back above claiming 450? Really, that turnaround at 450 shows us some weakness, and that's what I'm a little bit concerned about here. But let's take a look here at the Qs like we want to. Tech. We've had this big boom. The question is now, do we come back towards this box? And are we going to get a turnaround from this level and a hold of support? So now we got a low here of 374.22. And then today we got a low of 374.28. So this is what we're going to definitely point out tomorrow. We need to see if this line is going to crack down and get below that 374.23. If we turn around from here, we could see a nice push back up. If we crack that, we could start cracking down big. We'll see what happens in the Qs tomorrow. Let's go ahead up and catch up with the chat. I see a lot of people joining in. Welcome to the show. Money Mitch, the one and only. All right, there you go. Where's the Crocs? The Crocs, dude? Yeah, dude. The Crocs will definitely take a look at it. It did move on up today. Got wrecked today. Hey, don't worry. It happens to the best of us. I even got a tough stop out. It's just how it goes right now in this market. The other day I got a tough stop out that I'm going to talk about also. But it's been a tough week. And sometimes when it's a tough week, we want to just hold our money, hold our capital, slow things down, and make sure that we're seeing the right charts. All right, what's going on? Transfer me to Money Mitch in the office from last week. Hey, well, don't worry about it. Hey, our transfers right now on YouTube aren't working. That's because of YouTube, not because of us. But we'll keep it going. Let's go. Antonio, happy birthday. I know it was yesterday, but still, happy birthday, my dude. Easy, what's going on out there? Correction coming busy? We'll talk about it. I don't think we're going to see too big of a correction. If you think about it, we've already kind of corrected here. Let's take a look here. So if we look at the daily chart, right, and when we actually started the decline, which was on Thursday, the 2nd, if we actually pull back towards it right now, we're at a 2.23% pullback. If we get down towards, let's say, that 438, we would have a 3% pullback or 3.3% pullback. This is kind of what I'm expecting. I don't expect to see anything cross, let's say, even towards 436. So that's not the worst. If we're just going to make a 3% move from the highs, that happens, guys. That's just an easy correction and the market balancing itself out. All right, market is nervous, says Dupree. I think it's a little nervous. I agree. I mean, the inflation is definitely coming into play. Kevin, the Manos de Papel, is in the house. You already know, Kevin. Let's go ahead. What's up? Here, hit my level. Ooh, Todd is looking at the here. Believe it or not, I looked at that chart today also. It was a good looking chart. All right, let's go ahead. Let's take a look at what did we find out in the market today. I'll take a quick look at here. It was actually a good chart. As you can see, look at my lines drawn on this one. We have seen a good push on up. I was watching that candle, good bullish candle the day prior on Monday. Now you're getting that continuation move. We'll see if we can get the lift in here that we're looking for. The one thing to note, though, is the rest of the sector didn't really move up too much. I wanted to see Logi if it wanted to make a move up today. But if you can see, that one's turning away. And CRSR is the only one that I also liked because I was watching that this morning, Todd. So CRSR, you see how you have multiple bottoms. I would like to see this one break out with here. Maybe both of those can run hand in hand, and we can get some sympathy play in either or. All right, let's go. Let's take a look at some sectors. What are we getting? I was looking to see if healthcare was going to turn around today, but as you guys can see, straight days down. This is about 6 bars, so we're talking 11 days of straight red coming down here. We'll see what happens, but I mean, it's not looking that good in healthcare. It's definitely pulling back. There was some names that did have a good day. We could take a look. Moderna didn't do too bad. mRNA, you see that wasn't the worst. BNTX, biotech, that one didn't look that bad either. I did see some of these kind of move today, but it wasn't massive move on up. It was kind of smaller moves, 2%. Max move, I see 5%. The other big moves you're seeing is more along new IPOs. That's another common trend I'm seeing here. And these are the days where we got to do a lot more of watch lists. We got to find where the momentum is. All right. So one thing Julie is asking me here, Mitch, any coupon or savings offers on Benzinga Pro? I got you, Julie. Let's go ahead and get you one of those. We do have a promo that you can use. You can check it out here. That's YouTube 20. It's going to get you 20% off any Benzinga Pro subscription. Check it out, guys. Let them know Money Mitch sent you. They won't be mad. All right, Julie, there you have it. Let's keep going in the chat. What do we got there? Thinking about it, NVAX didn't get the Moderna move. I was actually looking at NVAX this morning. It kind of was in the chop this morning. It looked like it wanted to go up, didn't want to continue. But I've been wondering if I should take a flyer on NVAX. But with the market turning around the way it is, I'm definitely going to stay out of it. You guys can see the chart here. Did have a turnaround. It looked like it wanted to go for a second, bounced up, but then just turned around. And I agree with you thinking about it. This one, let's not think about it maybe. All right, I got you, Julie. Anytime. Easy. Dylan, where you at, man? Hey, Crypto, what's going on out there, Crypto? How we doing? All right, let's go ahead. Let's keep going. Let's take a look. AMD Iron Fist is talking about. So with that being said, I'll transition with you. You want to talk a little bit of technology? I'll talk technology. Let's go ahead and let's get in it. Let's take a look here at technology. What are we getting at? And you can see here on my index, we're coming back down. The question is, how far are we going to go ahead and break back down here? We've been making a big push on up from this line here. Now, the big thing is that was about a 10% push. Are we going to get a 5% retracement? Let's say somewhere around here is where I could see us retracing to, or in the 1080s. So be careful with tech right now. And with that being said, AMD, it's right there off the support. But if it cracks at 104.35 on the downside, I could see this going down to 100. And then you got to hold on for that 100, because if not, you're coming back down towards 90. We'll see if AMD can continue making a move. Nvidia is also one to keep on watch, because it does have the support the same way. If you can look at here, you can see multiple times that support right here. The 220s is important. If it breaks that down on the downside, you can see a move retrace all the way towards that 205. We'll see what happens in these tech names. But there was some names that were moving up today. So let's take a look there on some tech. But the first one I'm going to pull up here, most people don't think it's a tech name, but it's FSIL. FSIL did have a squeeze today. As you guys can see, look at this chart. FCEL did push on up, got up there towards about a 30% move, a $1.75 breakout, pulled back there, came back towards about a 16% pullback. I could see this one continue to make a move. We'll see if this one has a day 2 move. Last time this one did this move right here, it popped. It had the second day, but it quickly gave it right back. Now that we're getting more volume that we got on there, I'm going to look for this one to continue. I will see this one tomorrow. This is one of my biggest stocks on my radar tomorrow, and that's FSIL. Yep, you got it, man. We'll keep this one on watch. All right, so with that one being traded, you can, of course, look at Plug Power. This one likes to trade with FSIL, so look at this one tomorrow also to see if it gets a big push on up, and that's PLUG, Plug Power. All right, let's go to the next one here. Catching up with the chat. Looks like someone wants to talk about Tesla. I'll talk about Tesla a little bit, but definitely I'm a little worried about Tesla, but we'll see what happens. When is Apple going to move up? It's killing me. Let's take a look here at some leaders like Tesla and Apple. AAPL here. Let's go ahead. And as you guys see my drawings, look how this bottom trend line comes right to it. So bottom, 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 bottom. Look how we came right to that bottom. Now I want to see if this bottom holds. Right here is around 147. So to me, that's the line in the sand right now. I don't want to see it crack 147. So if I can get close towards that, I can maybe get an entry in Apple trying to get it back above 150. Because if it cracks 147 on my end, I would get out of the trade, and that could save me if this does crash down. But if Apple comes back roaring, I want to be in Apple. So I'm going to be paying attention to it and looking to see if I can nail a trade in Apple. What I'll look for it is, let's say the tech takes a hard pre-market look tomorrow, because this could very much happen, guys. We can get a hard downside action in tech tomorrow. I want to see it in pre-market, and then right at the open, give us that boom out, break out of that downtrend, and to just surge on up. That's what can get me interested in Apple. Maybe it gets close, even cracks 147 for a second, but it immediately reclaims it and doesn't break it again. That's what I'll be looking for in Apple. Let's take a look here in Tesla, because Tesla also showed signs of weakness today. Couldn't get above that 750 and holding. That's the level that I'm looking at now. Right now, we're sitting at 744.45. I need to see it get above 750 and hold, because if not, we could start testing back down to support, which could be a move back down to 728s or even a move back down towards the 680s. We'll see what happens in Tesla. As we know, Kathy did sell some up there, and I can't blame her for it because it was a major level. The big thing is, can you get through that level, 760, and get towards the next level, which is 800? We'll see what happens there in Tesla. These are ones that I definitely keep on watch, because if these turn around, we need to pay attention, because the market could be turning around also. All right, what's going on out there? How we doing? B-Fly, you see with that volume coming in today, this is a SPAC, but I'll take a quick look. Not too bad. I mean, yeah, you want to see this one take off. You don't want to see it come back down towards 10. You want to see it power through 13. Has multiple levels to go off of, so it's a good trade. If you're trying to trade this one and time it off of, let's say, this bottom here, the low here is 1175. You're trading right now at 1250s. Not a bad level to look at. I mean, with that one being said, I've been waiting for products to turn around in this back game, but look at Owlet. Owlet's a good product, but even that one is not wanting to turn around. We'll see what happens, Justin. B-Fly has been said to be a little bit better, but we'll see what happens there. Can we go over the technology sector? I think we took a look at that already, but I'll take a look a little bit deeper for you. That's what it's all about. If you guys got an industry you guys want me to take a look at, put it up in the chat and I'll mention it. Justin Beaver, please believe it. Yes, we'll get to Palantir. I got it on my list. It's one of the last ones, but we'll get towards there. All right, let's go ahead. Let's go back towards our technology outlook. And so one of the areas that I was looking for was, of course, solar. Guys, I went after Run today. Run looked good right out the gates. Look at this hourly kind of trend that we had. Of course, don't look down here, but look at the top of it. Look how you had this kind of sideways trend that we were starting to push above. We made a push right out the gates. We looked to go above 47. So I tried to get in some at 46, tried to get in some at 45, giving me 45.50. And then eventually I got even some down towards 44.50 and then getting stopped out through 44.25 because I went down towards a 4.25, a point risk. Was stopped out of this trade, even though I think Run could come back. Maybe I held a little tight on it, but the way the market was looking, didn't want to see this one crush me. So I got out of Run, and I'll hold on and wait for it to come back. We're not always going to be right, and that's what it's all about, guys. I want you guys to be able to admit when we're wrong and know, hey, we cut it, we move on, and we look for the next trade. We're not going to let it hurt us mentally, and what we do is just understand that we have rules, and rules are rules, regardless if we want to get out or we don't want to get out. The rule tells us that we get out, so we take the out. I'll tell you a perfect example that happened to me this week was Airbnb. So Airbnb still looks good for me, and I'm going to talk a little bit about this one in a second. But hey, this one did a very hard down move yesterday, and with that hard down move, I got stopped out. It happens, guys. Even though I would be I'd be like 6-8 points in the green here. So that's how it goes, guys. Sometimes you're going to see fake outs happen all the time, and fake outs happen often, guys. So you just got to be careful and be willing to cut the loss quickly and move forward. All right, let's go ahead. Super Spackman saying he had to cut his warrants for ACIC, even though I wanted to see the PR on merger vote. I understand how that goes. Hey, what does stopped out mean? I don't know. It's talking about, okay, so stopped out means, so there's two things. It could be a mental stop or an actual physical stop. So there's a physical stop. That's in order to get out if the price breaks below a price. So let's use a different stock here so you don't get as confused. So let's say right here, if my entry was 148 and I'm going to set a hard stop there at that 148. Okay, a hard stop would actually get me out at the best market price when it cuts through that 148. Now, the difference here, you could also do a mental stop out, where if that level breaks, you go and you enter a manual order, a limit order below that 148 so that you can get out of the trade. Of course, the limit order is probably going to be a little bit slower than the market, but the market order leaves you to the market risk for the market deciding what shares you take. I would rather do limit outs. So if you do a stop, there is such thing called a stop limit order where the stop activates, but then it turns into a limit order. These are the ones that I put in at times when I can't watch the stock. Like, let's say Run today, it stopped me out while I was on SPAC's attack. But that's how it goes, guys. I mean, hey, you can't be in trades and focused on them. And if you're not looking at the trade, that's when I like to go ahead and use my stop limits, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it down below a level where, hey, if it gets to that level, I should be out of the trade. And that's what we need to do. We need to protect ourselves at some times. I'm surprised I only got stopped out once today, Mikey. Hey, happens to the best of us. I hope that gave you a little better understanding. I don't know. And hey, we all need to learn what stops are. So that's why I went through it. Should have sold puts on Airbnb. Hey, that probably would have worked. Is this time to get out of the clean energy trade? That's a great question. Let's take a look at that. And really, I mean, overall, I mean, if you start looking at clean energy, it hasn't been doing well as of late. One that I did want to take a look at to see what was going to happen today was ChargePoint, because charging infrastructure, I think, is very important for this country if we're really going to kick off on EV. And as you can see, it didn't go anywhere today. Yeah, it went up a little bit. I mean, 3%, but turned around and actually ended the day red. So it's just not looking right now like, this kind of new energy, renewable energy play is massive. Even solar is struggling. EVgo struggling here. Another charging infrastructure play. And if we start taking a look at, let's say, lidar companies that are also going to be needed for EV, they're not moving up either. And then we look at the battery plays like QS not moving, right? And so, yeah, clean energy trade. I think what happens is that there's waves, and this is just a wave where it's just not in the forefront of investors. Set your stop limits to manage risk. I mean, you have to. At the end of the day, it's always about managing risk. Plug Omar. I brought it up with FSIL a little bit earlier, so if you want to check that out, definitely check it out. We got about 6 minutes left, so I want to get into some other coverage here, but I'm having fun going through this in the chat. I love that you guys are putting comments in the chat. Put in the stocks you guys want to talk about, because that's what my show's all about. Let's keep going, guys. Next one I want to bring up is, did you guys take a look at Marriott? Marriott, we were talking about this yesterday. We started talking about maybe looking to see what could happen in kind of hold on one second here before I delete. There you go. I did delete the chart. All right, there you go. Well, now you guys get to see how I make new charts here. All right, so let's just, I know what we can do here. I'm just going to move this here. As you guys see, I messed up my charting here, but that's all we can do. Let's roll with it. All right, so you guys will see a little bit of a line chart. Don't get distracted of it. I'll fix it in a second, but here we go, guys. Now, one thing that we did see, though, is 2 green bars right after the breakout here on Marriott. One of the ones that I like also is Hilton. Hilton's starting to look good also. You can see clearly the push on up. Here, let me just edit the price style here. Boom, net change and fill on up bars. There you go. All right, there you go. So you guys see Hilton here pushing on up there through the 130s, also looking strong. And now I will point out some other ones that I didn't point out yesterday. So Airbnb, I already pointed out, but look at Marriott Vacations. Marriott Vacations coming back hard. Yesterday, it had a strong day. Today, it pushed on up, pulled back, but closed above that. I want to see if we get a big drive in this tomorrow. This is VAC. Another one is HGV. This is the Hilton one. And you can see how this one's really taken off. Having a strong day today. In the last 3 days, made about 7.5% move. We'll keep watching HGV to see what happens. I think that one gives you the signal for VAC, which is Marriott Vacation Worldwide, and we'll see if this one can get moving here. Sorry about the charts there. As you guys see, I hit the wrong button, but hey, that happens, guys. I'll fix my charting in a little while. Next one I wanted to point out, guys, I wanted to look at HUT. HUT, did you guys see HUT today? It did make a nice move, but what is going on after hours here? Looks like it's getting crushed in after hours right when I was about to give the warning. No lie. Guys, I promise my first thing was going to be, yes, I like the action in HUT today, but have you seen Mara and Riot? Because those are looking really bad to the downside, and I wanted to warn you guys about this. And then I go and I look at it, and look at this chart. Oof. Oof is correct, Blazing Gaming. That's what I would say. If I saw a chart like this, I'd probably be with you blazing and gaming, not looking at stocks. a bunch of stuff is down after hours. Emily, I'm gonna have to take a look what happens there. But man, I mean, look at Mara. Mara was this action right here going into the close is what gave me the signal. Like I don't know about Mara. I don't know about Hut because the action in Mara is pointing on the downside. And if we look at Riot, we could also look at Riot and see that downside action, right? Downside look. So that's why I was looking at Hut and I was like, oh, it held today. It's looking like it wants to get up there towards 1050. No, hard turnaround today. Going down all the way towards the 9. It was holding really well. It was just going sideways on its way up, holding 1045s, and boom. What a breakdown there in after hours. Hey, that's how it goes there. We'll have to definitely be paying attention towards that. Hey, Mitch, it's Keith. I was wondering if you can tell me what you think about the Roku chart. All right. Well, guess what, Keith? Since I haven't done any, I think, from you, I'm going to go ahead and give you the last stock of today. Looks like there was a proposed public offering. Yep, that could definitely do it, Satsai. I'm going to be seeing what happened with Hut, but man, what a takedown there. All right, let's go ahead. Roku, let's take a look at that one. I did see you talk about that, Keith, so I'm going to keep that one as my last one because we got Cannabis Insiders coming up next. And one thing that I will mention on Roku is that where do we find support? It's so crazy. On this one, I gave out early in the year when it was around 300, a $500 price target. And we got how close, guys? Oh, should have been quicker. Should have put out a 490. It went to 490.76. Didn't get to that 500. That's how it goes. Now, what are we looking for? We're looking to find monthly support. If you really see, we gave a monster rip on 1 month. That's what got us up there towards that 490. But now we've had essentially almost 3 months of downside action. So we need to find some monthly support. Where can we find that? Possibly we can find it here on this low. This monthly low here is 316.46. So that's going to be the level that we're going to look to hold. So you see how I worked backwards there with my monthly chart to find a daily level to look for it to find a bottom. So now that we got multiple actions right here. So in the last 2 days, we got a low here of 314.53 and a low of 315.76. So to me, I would start holding towards that 315.76. We wouldn't want to see that line broken. You could also hold towards that 314.50s. So now it's up to you to determine if this is the level that you want to go off to call the bottom in Roku. And I don't mind it. I know that Vizio had a decent day and it's trying to find a bottom also. This is also a similar play that likes to move hand in hand. Look how it's trying to find that bottom at 1850s. And if we look at Fubo, let's see what's going on in Fubo because this one had made a hard downturn after trying to break out. We want to see this one find some support at 26, get back up there towards 29. We'll see what happens with Fubo, Roku, and Vizio. All right, guys, that's probably going to do it for me. Got to get on out of here. Cannabis Insiders is up next. I want to go ahead and throw up that link right here in the chat. So if you guys want to take a look at Cannabis Insiders, I definitely suggest you guys go ahead and do it. You guys will see that there's some cannabis stocks that have been on the move. One that I wanted to talk about, so I'll probably go into there and ask them to go ahead and check it out. Tell me what they think since they're the experts. Like always, guys, you guys can check me out at Story Investors on Twitter, and I'm going to get you guys right here the link to get to Cannabis Insiders. I'm putting it up in the chat. You guys make it there, and definitely we'll see you there. Happy if you can pin that. That will help me, but I understand if you can't do it. Join us in there, Antonio. Guess what? I'll be in the chat for Cannabis Insiders. I'll see you guys there. And like always, let's go talk some cannabis, right? I mean, end of the day, you know I'll be there. You guys know I like it. Let's get it going. Hit the thumbs up. We'll see you next time on Money Mitch. Let's get it going, guys. Let's go. Smash up. Smash up. Cannabis conference is coming, guys. Don't miss out. Ask him about it. Let him know. What's the cannabis conference?